Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to No Name Gaming. My name is Oxlight here at Racing Lights Productions, your home for sim racing. We are live at the virtual Rockingham Speedway for the American Motorsports Association's Gold Line Guardians 100. Tonight is a unique race as we head to a 1-mile oval at the Rockingham Speedway located in North Carolina. This historic racetrack in real life is actually receiving updates, which is an exciting thing for the track that hasn't seen a lot of action lately, but it is also set here on iRacing similar to North Wilkesboro. This race is different because the drivers will be receiving 2 sets of tires in the pits to use throughout the race. It'll be a long race that will definitely come down to strategy with our smaller field here tonight. Tonight is also our second Dash for Cash race. We have Colin Allman and Aaron Johnson that qualified for it last week, and due to drivers not showing up, Sean Hayes and Trevor Edwards will also be competing for the extra $100. Last Dash for Cash, Trevor was the race winner and recipient of the prize pool. Let's go take a look at the next few races. We are halfway through the first season of the American Motorsports Association late model stocks. So taking a look here at the schedule, my apologies again, still do not have the updated graphic. I did not have a chance to do that today. So unfortunately, tonight's race is listed as the wrong date, but it is what it is. Next week, we go to a much different track than what we've had throughout the season. We go to the very shallow banking of Langley, which is going to be a really interesting race. Then we head to South Boston again for our third Dash for Cash qualifier. Then we go to Concord for the Triangle there, which is going to be a really exciting race. Then we get a week off, and then Southern National, Five Flags, New Smyrna, which is the only other new track on the second half of the circuit, of the schedule, I mean. Then we finish up the season at Hickory. So that's a look throughout the rest of the season, so you can see just how things play out. But it looks like our drivers pretty much ready to get things underway. So let's go take a look at our starting lineup for tonight's race. Only 13 cars taking the field tonight, but Colin Allman, winner of last week's race, is taking the pole here tonight. He set at a time of 24.633. Alongside of him is Justin Crow. In the second row, we've got Dylan Williams and Aaron Johnson. Aaron Johnson, another Dash for Cash racer. And then you have the other two that got in. It would be Trevor Edwards in 5th and Sean Hayes in 6th. In row 4, we've got Josh Parrish and Leon Keniston. Then rounding out the top 10, we have Braxton DeWeese and Tyler Hilton. Then outside of the top 10 drivers not setting a lap time would be Spencer Dickinson and Cade Green in row 6. And then rounding out the field here tonight will be Jake Grout. So only 13 drivers taking to the track here at Rockingham Speedway, but that's all right. We're going to get some really good racing in nonetheless. And really interesting here to see the 100 of Tyler Hilton taking the field. We haven't seen him get on track here at all, so and actually that is sporting the 89 of Vinoratsky. Yeah, that's not right. But I believe we just go around one time here for pace lap. So it should be pretty short, but also if you take a look on the timing tower, once we pull that up, you'll be able to see our Dash for Cash drivers. They will be highlighted in green as we go throughout the race. You can keep track of where they are. The highest finisher in tonight's race, they don't have to be a race winner, just the highest finisher will receive the $100. For some reason, it just looks like numbers not lining up right. Maybe people changing paints around for different leagues, but Aaron Johnson, who's typically the one, is listed as the 78 on track here tonight. And as you saw, the 89 is actually the 100, so kind of mixed up here. But we're getting ready to go green flag racing as we come across the start zone, and Colin Allman takes us green flag racing around the rock. off to a good start here for Colin Ullman. He pulls away from Dylan Williams behind in the 24. And you can see it's going to be a bit of a line here forming on the inside. And you can see on the outside, Aaron Johnson. Now the question is, they aren't going to be able to make it on fuel. What is the pit strategy? We really, in these short track races, haven't experienced pit strategy. It's going to be the first time that we have this here this season, so it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers tackle this, trying to decide when to come in. Do you take tires? How are these tires going to hold up as you go throughout the run? Because you can see the one thing about Rockingham, the tires really are going to get worn because Rockingham is a really loose track. You can see how hard they are driving those rears. As they come in through entry, you can see that rear slides a little bit, and it's going to get really loose as you go long run because you're pushing that exit real hard as well. So it's going to be a lot of trying to balance the tire wear, trying to balance your approach here to see what you can do. We saw last week Colin Ullman was really dominating the race throughout the entire race. He was able to just keep those tires so fresh, nobody was able to match him. You can hear from the top three drivers last week between Cole Caber and Alex McCollum. They just had nothing for him all the way through the run. They did everything they could. They tried to send it at the end. Nothing they could do, though, because he was able to save his car so well. But you can see Dylan Williams keeping up with him early. And then you can see Justin Crowe rounding out the top three. Aaron Johnson behind, though, just set the fastest lap of the race. But we've got some good side-by-side racing. A little bit further back here, we've got the 32, Trevor Edwards, 55, Josh Parrish. And then Sean Hayes, our other Dash for Cash driver, in the 99, a little bit further behind. It seems like just trying to find your own lane here at this point as Jake Grout looks like he has taken it back behind the pit wall already and called it a day. Braxton DeWeese also further behind. You can see he has dropped off a good bit. Those front two starting to pull away a little bit. You can see Aaron Johnson on the inside. He's going to try and take Justin Crowe into turn 3, and he's going to get that pass clear, moving him up onto the podium right now. But now he's got about a little over a half second to catch up with Dylan Williams to try and see if he can make a fight for the race lead. Taking a ride, let's go on board here. We'll take a ride here along the 99 of Sean Hayes. You see him trying to make a move down the inside line. You can just listen how hard these cars push all the way around the track. You can hear the bumps around the corners. And what I'm interested to hear is, do they lift at all going into the entry? A little bit. It's not much. It's only about a half second to get the car to rotate, and then they're back on throttle. We can see these guys, because they are fighting further behind, they're falling back. They're probably going to lose the draft at this point. They're going to have to work together if they want to try and catch up with Trevor Edwards and try and make a move into the top 5. You can see that top 5 starting to tighten up a little bit as Aaron Johnson now bringing that gap down about 0.2 of a second from what it was earlier. Still a while to go. But the 55 of Josh Parrish making a very good move down the inside of Sean Hayes, and back and forth. The crossover from the 99 on the exit of turn 2 as Parrish makes a slight mistake getting onto the apron, side drafting, which you don't see much in the short track cars, as he's going to get the move down to the inside. But the bumps on that inside line are so dangerous, as you can see the 99 really having some trouble with control there. Rides the apron all the way around the tri-oval. He's going to try and get this pass done again, but we'll see what the 55 has for him as he's going to touch that apron. Really dangerous thing to do, but he's going to get right up on the bumper of the 99. We'll see if they end up deciding to work together. They are now 2 seconds behind the top 5. Checking in with our race leaders, though, you could see the gap here between Dylan Williams, Colin Ullman, not really changing. Aaron Johnson trying to slowly close that gap, but it's going to take him a little while. You can see he hasn't really made many moves. He's gained about a 0.5 of a second a lap, as he's getting close to bringing that down to about a half second back from Colin Ullman. So that's about the same distance right now between the top 3. See if Aaron Johnson's going to have anything in store for the 24 coming up here in a little bit. You can see a little bit further back here, Justin Crowe is making opportunities here with Trevor Edwards. He's going to try and make a move on the inside of the 32, or is he just going to try and elect to stay behind him and ride with him? Question is the 32 and the 86 trying to save tires? What is your call here? Because again, don't think they can make it on fuel. It's a long run here, long race, 100 miles, 100 laps. Is the longest race of the season distance-wise, because most of our races, while they are about 125 laps, 150 laps, those are around 1/3 miles, half-mile tracks. So we're at most doing about 50 miles. We're doubling the distance here, doubling down on that, and we'll see how these cars react. We haven't really seen these cars have to come down for pit stops. They don't refuel. We don't take tires at all because you just are, whatever you start on is the set that you have to make it last. So could that be the strategy call right now from the 32 and the 86? But looking a little bit further ahead here, pressure is on. Aaron Johnson is on the back end of Dylan Williams. Gonna look to maybe make a move to the inside. He's been making really good progress here across the past several laps. He's gonna be side by side with the 24 as they get ready to head into turn 1. And he's not gonna get clear through the corner. So it's gonna give the 24 an opportunity to make a move on that outside line. Can he push a little bit harder? See if he can make that move stick, as Aaron Johnson should be clear of Dylan Williams, but look for the cross back here on the 24. We'll see if he's going to make that move. Doesn't look like he will. He's just going to ride out where he's at. That pass, though, cost him about 0.2 of a second on Colin Allman. Now, while Aaron Johnson was slowly gaining on Colin Allman, he still has to now recharge and try and get that all back. He was doing really good, made up a lot of time, and then that pass cost him a good bit of time there. So we'll see what he's got in store, what he has in plan. See if Dylan Williams will be able to keep up with Aaron Johnson or if he's going to drop back, because it seems like after that pass was made, the 24 tires might be used up a little bit here early on, as we are 17 laps in. All green flag racing. Top 5 has pulled themselves away a good bit. Still have Josh Parrish, Sean Hayes further behind. Let's go take a look a little bit further back in the field and take a look at the battle here. This is currently the battle for 8th place. You've got Cade Green leading the charge here. Then Tyler Hilton and Leon Keniston all battling it out here a little bit further back. Kind of spread out right now, but trying to see if they can find a comfortable lane. As you can see Tyler Hilton riding that middle line, running for the late apex. You can see Cade Green riding that bottom lane, pushing all the way down, trying to see if he can carry as much speed as he can. And Leon Keniston seems to be following that bottom line as well through turns 3 and 4. Nothing really happening here right now, as Sean Hayes falling a lot off the pace. So let's go check in what's happening there with the 99. Looks like he might have clipped the apron. He's now in 7th place behind Josh Parrish. Trying to see what he can do. You can see a lot of slip angle on that car on the entry, really getting that nose to bite in. But the problem is, because of the way he's pushing the car, those rears sliding a little bit on him, getting onto the apron, those tires are not going to like that. We go through turns 1 and 2, see if he can maybe make a move on Josh Parrish, who clips the apron. And that's the thing. These two drivers just seem to each be clipping that apron a little bit through the exit of turn 2. That's giving the other driver the opportunity to try and make a move. But let's go check in on the front, as we've got a battle for the race lead. Aaron Johnson to the inside of Colin Allman. Colin Allman is going to let him have it. But Dylan Williams right there in tow. 3 cars battling it out for the race lead here. Lap 21. And we'll see how much longer these drivers can make it on fuel. What is the fuel run? When are we going to have to make a stop? Because these drivers pretty much flat out throughout this track. Not a lot of off-throttle time, as we heard riding on board with Sean Hayes. You can see that battle, allowing the drivers a little bit further behind to get back into it. They're trying to, at least Trevor Edwards and Justin Crowe hanging out. It almost seems like it's kind of a strategic thing to wait and see if a mistake is made further ahead. That way there is time to react. But Johnson, Aaron Johnson, driver of the one machine, slowly pulling away a little bit. Right now, that gap about 0.2. It seems to be widening a little bit each lap, but that corner at least, Colin Allman is going to be able to close that gap a little bit. Nothing really happening though up front now, and everybody seems to be in line. We'll see if Colin Allman maybe saving the tires a little bit now, seeing how much speed that Johnson had, holding up a little bit early. You can see on the back end here of Aaron Johnson, kind of what he's looking at in his rear view mirror. Allman not getting all up in his business. He definitely could, I think, if he tried to push it. But you don't want to get too close. Don't want to get too much dirty air. Don't want to get too much heat. You can see all that scraping from the pavement, those bumps coming off these cars, scrubbing some speed. As you can see now, Ullman going to elect to take that inside line, going to try and get the lead back, and Aaron Johnson going to let him have it as he rides up to that middle line. Colin Ullman back to the race lead, but for how long? Because Aaron Johnson on that outside line, can he make a move out there? We haven't seen anybody really make passes on the outside line yet. Maybe it just needs to get settled in. We haven't had any luck out there. In recent weeks, there were a couple drivers able to make the outside line work last week, but it really wasn't a viable line even a couple of weeks ago. When we were at South Boston, a couple drivers were able to make some success on that outside line, so maybe it's just a matter of getting the tires worn in, getting that outside line worn in a little bit more, but right now, nobody electing to go for it. It seems to be the inside line is the passing lane. It is the preferred line, as that's where we see all these drivers. They are trying to hug that yellow like we've seen. It's hard. You hit it wrong, you're going to lose a lot of speed because those bumps down there are vicious. It's over a quarter of the way through the race. Right now, your Goal Line Guardians 100 brought to you by the American Motorsports Association. Your top 5 right now. We've had some flip-flopping for the lead, but it's back to where it was just a handful of laps ago. Colin Ullman, your race leader, with Aaron Johnson behind. Dylan Williams in 3rd. Trevor Edwards in 4th. And Justin Crowe is in 5th. Right now, it's looking like we're going to get close to getting lap cars here soon with Braxton DeWeese. Excuse me. Braxton DeWeese a little bit further behind, falling off the pace. You've also got Spencer Dickinson and Leon Kennison all falling back a little bit here. As you can see, Spencer Dickinson moves into the top 10, but into 4th place, Justin Crowe looking down to the inside as he's going to try and make a pass on Trevor Edwards. He's been waiting very patiently. Is this going to be the opportunity? He's going to try and make himself up to 4th, but look out as Trevor Edwards running that high line might have a run going into turn 3. And actually just decides to hang back here. So now they've got to try and fight back a little bit up through the field. We'll see what they can do if they want to try and get back into this battle for the race lead. Going a little bit further back, I feel we haven't checked in with these guys too much. Spencer Dickinson, driver of the 6 machine. You can see Leon Kennison behind in the 93. And it looks like Spencer, now that he worked his way around Leon, he's starting to pull away a good bit. Now that gap is over a half second far. It just seems like Leon just not having the best of nights so far tonight. Same with Braxton DeWeese, drivers that are typically up in that top 10, sometimes even battling for top 5 spots at our regular short tracks. But still plenty of time. A caution comes out, we'll stack the field back up, and it'll shake up some strategies as well. So you never know what's going to happen here. Plenty of time for something to go as we are a third of the way through the race. Looking back at our race lead, though, Colin Ullman pulling away here from Aaron Johnson and Dylan Williams. This is oddly familiar to last week's race where he did the same thing. He was able to pull himself away from the field as, Aaron Johnson into the outside wall. That's going to allow Dylan Williams to make that pass on the inside line and moving himself back into 2nd place. Aaron Johnson going to try and make a move to the inside again. He's going to be on the quarter panel here, still there as they go through turn 2. Should be able to get clear, though, from Aaron Johnson there. The 24 going to see if he can make that move to the inside. It's going to be very close. Cuts the door there, very narrow on Aaron Johnson. This battling has allowed Justin Crowe to get into the fight. Trevor Edwards seems to be falling off the pace a good bit as a caution is out. That is going to be Leon Kennison, Braxton DeWeese that are sideways off of turn 2. This is going to shake up the strategy here, as we are going to have to re-rack it here. But it's going to allow the drivers to come down pit road. Let's go take a look at what brought that caution out. You got Leon Kennison coming around turn 1 and 2. Oh, the back end. Yep, there it is. Tires wearing out in the rear. That back end just breaks loose. And, ooh, that is a very tough one there from Braxton DeWeese. Tries to go high to avoid the wreck. Doesn't see him coming back up until the last minute. And we'll go take a look here on board Braxton DeWeese so you can see kind of what he was looking at here coming in through turns 1 and 2. You can see Leon breaks loose, catches that apron, thought he was going to stay low. And at that point, already committed to the high line. Unfortunate for him. That'll probably be close to ending his race. You can see Leon Kennison also going to be coming down the pit lane. Top 5 drivers coming down pit road, led by Colin Allman. We'll see what the pit strategy is going to be. Do we go for 4 tires? Do you go for 2? Or do we see any of these drivers elect to just take fuel only? Would be a bold strategy, but I would not be shocked to see somebody try and make a bold move here to try and jump themselves up the running order. Nobody getting jacked up. Up there we go. Dylan Williams jacking up, as well as Colin Allman. It looks like the entire field will be opting for tires. Right sides only, actually, for Dylan Williams, Colin Allman. So we have a new race leader off of pit road. You're going to see Justin Crow, Trevor Edwards follow, and Aaron Johnson. Looks like he probably had a little bit of damage on that right front. He is going to come out in 5th. Looking a little bit further back, a couple drivers still coming out of pit road. We got Josh Parrish and Tyler Hilton, our top 10 here, all on the lead lap. So interesting strategies here on pit road. If you take a look through our pit stop times. Oh, that did not come up what I wanted, unfortunately. My apologies. But if we were to go back and look at the pit stop times, you take a look at the top 4. They all took right sides only. Aaron Johnson, the only driver in the top 5, taking 4 tires. So, interesting call here from the rest of the field, taking 2 sides. The other driver to take 4 tires, that would be Tyler Hilton. Or, sorry, Josh Parrish and Tyler Hilton, the only other drivers electing to take 4 tires. So, we'll see how that plays out for the rest of the field. Those left sides, I'm curious as to how worn they are. After about 36 laps green flag racing, like we said, pretty much flat out for the most part. So we will see how things play out once we get ready to go green flag racing once again. But Dylan Williams, your new race leader, he will be in the hands of the field when we get ready to go green flag racing. Probably this time around, we'll see if the lights on the pace track go out after this lap. We're going to stack them up 2 wide. We're going to get ready to go green flag racing as we are, that was not what I wanted. It was 62 to go. That's all right, though. We'll be ready to go green flag racing here momentarily. And we are going to turn off the mic and we're going to kick up the sounds here so we can get all the sights and sounds of the Rockingham Speedway in North Carolina. We hope you enjoy the sights and sounds so we get ready to go green flag racing for our first restart of tonight's Gold Line Guardians 100. So as we go further into this race, Trevor Edwards fighting with Colin Allman for the race lead. After that restart, you can see Dylan Williams has dropped back a good bit. So the drivers that took 2 tires right now, or sorry, 4 tires where they're currently sitting, is 6th place for Aaron Johnson, 9th for Tyler Hilton, and 10th for Josh Parrish. It almost seems like taking the 4 tires, not the optimal strategy. We can see Trevor Edwards making a move for the race lead. He's going to cleanly make that pass as they enter turn 1. So new race leader, our 4th race leader of the night, Trevor Edwards. And he should be able to complete this lap as we go around turns 3 and 4. Trevor Edwards, winner of the first Dash for Cash race. Also your current points leader. So he's trying to see if he can make himself another $100. Ooh, that is Sean Hayes sliding loose through turn 1. He's going to make contact with Justin Crow. Aaron Johnson quickly approaching on those drivers. He's going to see if he can capitalize on the mistake from the 99. That was a very close call there from the 99. Let's see if we can get that replay pulled back up here and watch that one more time now that we can zoom in on that and see what happened there from the 99 on the entry of turn 1. As, ooh, just some contact from the 2 drivers. Cars did not like that, and that caused him to get really loose through the entry. But we are still green flag racing as we're back in the action 2x2 here. As Cade Green trying to get into the fight here. This is currently the battle for 5th place, my apologies, with Aaron Johnson leading this charge. Justin Crow right behind. Spencer Dickinson on the outside. Here's Cade Green's going to make a move to the inside and move himself up into 7th place. But right now, Aaron Johnson seems like those 4 tires just not coming into grip as much as he would have liked. It seems like the right side's only seems to be the better call. Battle for the race lead, still pretty close. Very similar to what we were seeing earlier on, where there was 3 drivers pretty much even for the race lead. As you got Trevor Edwards leading the charge, you've got just the 10th back is Colin Allman. Then about a car length back from that, you have the 24 of Dylan Williams. These drivers pretty close with each other, but they're about the same distance apart there for a little bit. But Colin Allman going to see if he can make the similar move that Trevor Edwards made on him. Goes to the driveway on the bottom, is going to get the nose down there. Is it going to be enough to clear the 32? He's on the inside of the points leader. Both drivers, previous race winners. As Colin Allman almost gets into the 32 as he clips a little bit of the apron coming around turn 3. They are almost door banging out of turn 4. They are on the front stretch. Colin Allman hitting him again, making more and more contact. Dylan Williams sitting and waiting for an opportunity to jump here. He's kind of licking his lips, waiting for an opportunity to try and make a move to get back into the lead. Drivers up front are pulling away. They're a whole second over that of Sean Hayes back in 4th place. But they have to be careful not to wreck each other first. As you can see, Colin Allman inside line again, making more contact. They are dooring each other onto the front stretch once more, all the way through the tri-oval. It's like you're watching some racing at Bowman Gray Stadium as they're door banging all the way through the front stretch into turn 1 once more. Colin Allman is still ahead here by about a half a car length. Gonna see if he can clear the 32. Not gonna get it there. That outside line really starting to come into its own here. As you can see, Trevor Edwards really able to stick it on that outside line. He seems to have a knack of doing that at a lot of tracks. Able to make that outside line work. As you can see, more contact, and that's going to send him almost into the wall. Almost turns Colin Allman as well. As now Dylan Williams going to try and see if he can make an opportunity to make a move to the lead. He's going to let the 32 drop on in. Now buckle up. We'll see if the 32 is going to make a move back on the 67. If he does, it's definitely not going to be an easy fight here for the 32. You can see just how much battling and how much banging they did trying to get the 67 to the front. 32 definitely not going to forget that. Not very happy, I'm sure, about the moves that were just made on him. A little bit further back, you can see the battle for 4th place going on. Aaron Johnson, Sean Hayes going at it. That's the battle for 4th place. There are other 2 Dash for Cash drivers, but it seems like Sean Hayes just holding on to that bottom line oh so well. He's building himself a little bit of a gap here now. Justin Crow also behind them as well. But Trevor Edwards doesn't seem like he's got that push to get back up to Colin Allman. We saw Colin Allman starting to pull away on that long run when we went that first 36 laps. So we'll see if he's going to be able to do that again now that these tires are starting to wear off. We've been green flag racing for about the past 20 laps now. Across the line, 43 to go. And you know what? I forgot our mid-race break. So let's go through our mid-race break. A chance for us to go through the entire field, break down where everybody is. You can find out where your favorite driver is out on track. Currently in first place is Colin Allman. He started on pole, is currently still there. And in second place, we have Trevor Edwards, another Dash for Cash driver. He's up 3 spots from his starting spot of 5th. Going a little bit back here, Dylan Williams started in 3rd place, still hanging out in 3rd place. Did get to the lead at one point, so we'll see if he can get back up there once more. Going a little bit further back here, we've got Sean Hayes in the 99. He's up to 4th place. Trying to see if he can charge up to the leaders and see if he can make this a 4-way fight for the race lead. Another one of the Dash for Cash drivers, so that would be even sweeter if he can find himself into the race win. Rounding at the top 5, we got the 86 of Justin Crow. He might be back a few spots, but definitely making some headway after a little bit of a slow start in that first long run stint. He seems to have figured something out here as he's up into the top 5. Aaron Johnson, though, struggling a little bit after making his way to the race lead in that first green flag run. Now back to 6th place, so we'll see if he can continue to make a climb. Maybe he's got something on the long run that can get that car back up to the front. Cade Green, as he blinks out there for a second, in 7th place. Not getting a qualifying lap in, but he has found himself 5 spots after starting back in 12th. It's currently your hardest charger of the night. Behind him in 8th place, the 6 of Spencer Dickinson. Started back in 11th place. Has found himself up to 8th at this point. So we'll see if he can continue to make progress right now. This doesn't seem like the car is quite there with him tonight. This hasn't been one of his strongest races. But right now, car is clean. That's all you can ask for at this point. In 9th place, we have Tyler Hilton. He started in 10th place. And he's driving a Neil Vinarodsky paint scheme, but that's all right. But, I mean, he didn't expect a race here tonight. We were talking before the race. He mentioned that, unfortunately, due to the short driver count, he wasn't planning on driving. Decided, you know what? We'll get in. We'll put a couple laps in the car. We're going to see what we can do. So out here, car is clean. 9th place. It's a guaranteed top 10 now, as we see some drivers have taken it behind the pit wall. Josh Parrish rounds out the drivers still on track here in 10th place. Driver of the 55. Again, just not been his race. He's had some really strong races throughout the season, but this one doesn't seem to be his kind of track. See a lot of counter steering there coming off of turn 4. So he's currently rounding out the field in 10th place. The drivers that have taken it behind the pit wall, the 93 of Leon Kenniston, the 8 of Braxton DeWeese, and then the 49 of Jake Prout. That rounds out our mid-race break update. Let's go back into some of the action. Actually, never mind. We got some good action right here. We've got the 55 making a move on the inside. The bumps really upsetting that car. So one thing about these cars, the low nose, really, the car gets unsettled because of the bumps. And no, Parrish, can he save it? No, he doesn't. He's going to go backwards, bringing out the caution. Oh, what a save, though. I mean, he did keep it off of the 100. He was able to keep it off the wall. So as unfortunate as that spin was, it was a great save. So we see the 55 bring out our second caution here for the night. That's going to get us to stack back up, and unfortunately takes pretty much any strategy in this race out of it, as we went about the same distance as we did the first run. So don't be surprised to see drivers come down and take. I would not be shocked to see 4 tires. I almost expect it from the drivers that took 2. However, don't be surprised if we see drivers just take the right sides only. So Colin Allman leads the field. He's got himself actually a pretty sizable gap here coming down pit lane. Not sure why Dylan Williams did not keep that car closer. But it is going to work out in favor of the 67 as he's driving through some pit boxes here. But that's going to allow him to gain some time, though, because of the fact 24 was so much further behind. Let's see what they elect to do. Right sides are up as well for pretty much all these cars. Question is, will the left sides go up as well? No, not for Allman. Not for Dylan Williams. And it looks like pretty much the rest of the field all opting for 2 tires. Trevor Edwards. Looks like him, Spencer Dickinson, and Cade Green, the takers for 4 tires. The question is, which strategy will prevail? Will it be the 2 or the 4 tire strategy? At this point, you made your bed. If you are the right side takers, you've taken both of your sets on the right. Now you just have your 2 sets on the left, which, honestly, not going to do you much good at this point. We'll see how they fare from 7th place on to 1st, all on 2 sets of tires. They have not taken lefts throughout this race, except for Josh Parrish and Tyler Hilton. They actually took 4 on the last caution, taking 2 this time around. But then you have the takers for 4 tires a little bit further back. We've got Dickinson, Green, and Edwards. Looks like we're going to get ready to go green flag racing this time around. The lights off on the pace truck. We're going to go green flag racing. 32 laps remaining here in the race. So here we go. Getting ready to go green flag racing. The field in the hands of Colin Ullman. And he's going to get a really early jump. That's going to cause Dylan Williams to be sent 3 wide with Sean Hayes and Aaron Johnson. No, Aaron Johnson instead backs out there. That's going to cause him to be side by side with Justin Crow. So you can see Sean Hayes, a benefactor there of that caution, moves him up into 2nd place, seeing if he can maybe fight for the race win and get himself that $100 and his first series win. Lots of opportunities for new race winners here tonight. Right now, looking at the top 5, Sean Hayes, Dylan Williams, Justin Crow, all drivers yet to find themselves in victory lane. Same with Aaron Johnson. So lots of opportunities to have a new race winner, but who's going to be able to compete with Colin Ullman? He has been the class of the field here tonight, like he was last week, and a huge check up there from the 99. Going to cause Dylan Williams have to hold up a lot, and the 86 going to be able to make a move to the inside here of the 24. You go through turn 1, they're going to be side by side. Not clear here, though, as you can see the 24 alongside the door of the 86. Going to try and get a run down the backstretch. Is it going to be enough? Can he make that outside line stick? It looks like he's just going to try and find his way to the bottom, but look out, Trevor Edwards is here, and he is hungry to get back to the front on 4 fresh tires. You can already see that speed coming out in folds here from the 32. A good battle here right now for 3rd place, trying to get on the podium. You've got Justin Crow leading this charge right now, but Dylan Williams and Trevor Edwards behind, and not too much further behind that, you've got Aaron Johnson. So will any of them have anything to try and make a move here? Get into 3rd place. Trevor Edwards, you can see him peeking onto the inside. Is he going to be able to get there on Dylan Williams? Not going to. He is not going to get that inside. He's going to have to reset this whole move up once more. So we've got 28 laps remaining. Sean Hayes still holding on to 2nd place. Colin Ullman, your race leader. And Sean Hayes has fallen off about a second now, as he's now fallen into the field with everybody else. He is now fighting, trying to see if he can hold on to 2nd place with Justin Crow right behind. You can see if we go up to Sean Hayes here and take a look at the lap times here over the past couple laps. All in all, man, about a 1/10 to 2/10 faster each and every lap, and that's really where he's been able to pull ahead. And you can see just some grip troubles here for the 99. We saw it a little bit earlier when he was fighting with Crow. Caught that apron, caused the car to slide up, and almost made contact with the 86. But struggling again for grip, trying to ride that bottom. There's a lot of speed to be had down there, but you got to be really careful because the car can get unsettled very easily because of those bumps down low. Justin Crow now into 2nd. Dylan Williams says, hold on a second. I'm going to try and make a move for it as he goes down to the inside. It's going to be side by side on the exit as they get ready to come across the line. It will be Justin Crow coming across the line in 2nd place. But Dylan Williams is going to come at it again as they go through turns 1 and 2 side by side. They're going to stay side by side, and you can see that top line starting to really settle in. It's becoming a more viable strategy as we've got 25 laps remaining. They find themselves both over a second and a half behind, though, as that gap is steadily growing to Colin Allman because of the battles behind. Aaron Johnson trying to see if he can make a move on the 32 of Trevor Edwards and move himself into 4th place. But now we have a train here of 5 cars. Can they group up and try and make just a hard charge here to catch back to Allman, because now it's going to take a near perfect run to try and catch the 67. You've got to have a ton of speed and a lot of grip if you want to try and make a move just to even get up there at this point. He finds himself right now 1 3/4 seconds faster than the field, or ahead of the field, and it doesn't seem to be shrinking anytime soon. You can take a look. You can see here from Dylan Williams that gap over the past 5 laps or 6 laps. You can just see that distance has not really changed. If anything, it got wider because of the pass he made on Justin Crowe and Sean Hayes, and now it's just kind of settled out as we look to add another lap there. 22 remaining, and it's just not shrinking at all here for the 24. He's doing everything he can, trying to throw everything at this track, but nothing working here, as just Colin Allman has got this car on lock. He is zoned out at this point. He's in his own race at this point, way ahead of the field, nearly 2-second gap back to Dylan Williams. A little bit further behind, though, Sean Hayes, as he has fallen to the back of this line. That puts him back in 6th place, but right now, 3 Dash for Cash drivers all in a row. All EPI drivers, with Trevor Edwards, Aaron Johnson, Sean Hayes in 4th, 5th, and 6th, respectively. Could there be a bit of a save here coming up? Trying to see if they can make a move on the guys in front, at least to get onto the podium. We'll see, though. Trevor Edwards is your points leader coming into tonight's race. And with his 3 wins that he had in a row, is a pretty comfortable points lead. And nobody looking to make moves. Everybody just kind of sitting in their own gap here at this point. They're just waiting out, being patient, almost like they anticipate another caution to happen. As you can see, taking a look here from a further distance. Actually, let's do the drone cam. Gives us a much better angle here of it. You can see just how wide the gap has gone between these drivers. Each driver has about 3/10 to the next one. Nobody really getting close. They're not bunching it up. So even if you wanted to use draft, try and get up there like you're racing a super speedway in a like the NASCAR Cup car, Xfinity car, Truck Series, you aren't really doing yourselves any favor at this point. But it almost seems like they can't get any closer. Nobody's really closing the gap. They're all staying the same distance. These cars just seems like they've kind of reached their peak right now with where they're at on track. And you'd think Trevor Edwards, having 4 fresh tires, that car would be much more in tune with the track. He'd have a lot more grip. He'd be able to run those corners a lot faster. But that 32 just doesn't seem to have that grip. We saw earlier, same thing with Aaron Johnson. He took the 4 tires. He went in. He decided, hey, we're going to go for this. It didn't pan out for him. And it seems to be a similar case here for Trevor Edwards. It reaches a point that the tires just kind of settle. Aaron Johnson's going to try and make a move here on the 32. Going to try and move himself into 4th place. Trevor Edwards says, you can have it. I'll settle in behind. Maybe we can make something work with somebody else at the front. But now, 2-second gap from Dylan Williams to Colin Allman. We've got about a half second here from Aaron Johnson to Justin Crowe. We've got 15 laps remaining. Time is running out for anybody to really make moves, as it almost seems like everybody, except for a handful of drivers, like you've got the 3 here, and you've got those 2 in front of them, are kind of settled into their positions here for the race. You see Trevor Edwards trying to make a pass here on the inside of Aaron Johnson. Doesn't want to make that gap any wider, so he backs out of the entry of turn 3 to try and save a little bit of speed, but still, they aren't really gaining on the guys in front. If anything, they are losing some time here. Going a little bit further back, though, you can see we got a bit of a gap here. Josh Parrish back to Spencer Dickinson, but it seems like Dickinson trying to close that gap about 3/10 back now from the 55, and he's looking to make himself back into 8th place. So Spencer Dickinson, even though it's not his best race of the season, maybe a 7th place finish would definitely be a good way to redeem tonight's race. Cade Green also a little bit further behind, trying to see if he can make his way into this fight. I was about a half second to catch up to Dickinson. You can see both Dickinson and Parrish pushing really tight through the entry, and there's where he's gaining a lot of time is the exits. Josh Parrish struggling for grip on the exit. We saw him on the last caution. He brought it out by getting loose on the exit of turn 2. Back end just kicked out on him. Nothing he could do. Even there through turn 4. The car getting really loose on the exit. That's going to be where Spencer Dickinson's going to be able to make the move. Is a mistake there from the 55 as he's going to try and stick the car on the inside line. Not going to grip there, but could have a move here. Is a 55 a little slow on the exit. Here comes the 6 down to the inside line. Not going to be able to get anything done. Oh, he makes contact with the 55. Turning him sideways. We're going to stay. No, the caution comes out with 11 laps remaining. Well, that's really going to shake things up at this point. Colin Allman, I'm sure some very strong choice words are being said in that car right now. That race was his to lose. It was on lock. He had himself a 2-second gap back to Dylan Williams. It was pretty much all but over. But now, we're going to have our third caution. We're going to have to restart once more. He'll have Dylan Williams on the outside, Justin Crow behind him, and then Trevor Edwards on the outside of row 2. Now the question is, do we see tires? Drivers come in to maybe take some. Aaron Johnson leading the field down pit road. He's got a couple takers with him. Got Spencer Dickinson, Cade Green, and Tyler Hilton following all behind. The only driver, the benefactor here of them coming down pit road will be Josh Parrish, who spun that last caution. The question is, are they taking fuel? Or are they going to be taking tires as well? We'll see if they go up on the jack. Yeah, Aaron Johnson's going to take some left side tires. Cade Green looks like he was just a quick splash and go. The rest of the field taking some tires as well. So we'll see how this plays out for those takers. It'll be interesting to see if that strategy benefits them at all. But it looks like as we come around turns 3 and 4, the lights of the pace truck will probably go off as we come across the line, meaning we will go green next time around. If we do, it'll be 7 laps to go to the finish. We get to the white flag. Remember, that does make the race official. The next flag we will see then is the checker, and we'll see who is going to be our race winner. If we bring out a caution before the white flag, that means we will rack them up and go into the AMA Late Model Stocks overtime, where we will see if we can finish under green flag conditions. So we'll have to wait and see, though. Still plenty of time to get to that point. We're going to go green flag racing, 7 laps to go. Your top 10 in row 1, we've got Allman, Williams. Row 2 is Crow Edwards. Row 3, Parrish Hayes. Row 4, Johnson Green. And then rounding out the field, we've got Hilton and Dickinson. Are we going to see a surprise winner here tonight? Will Dylan Williams, Justin Crow, Shawn Hayes, Aaron Johnson, Josh Parrish maybe be able to make their first win here in the AMA Late Model Stocks? Or are we going to see a repeat winner in Trevor Edwards or Colin Allman? Allman's been dominant here tonight, but these restarts have always had a lot in store for us. So getting ready to go green flag racing. Pace truck going to be off. Dylan Williams has to time this perfectly as Colin Allman already taken away. He's going to build himself a pretty solid gap, about 0.4 of a second as they get ready to head into turn 1. Williams and Crow side by side. Crow on the inside line. Going to be able to get clear of Williams here. Going to be able to make himself up to second place. Trevor Edwards behind, maybe seeing if he can make a move to get up into second place. 2 by 2 by 2 as we get ready to go through turn 3. And Josh Parrish on the outside as well as Dylan Williams. Aaron Johnson on the inside line. Cade Green behind Shawn Hayes, Trevor Edwards, all trying to see if they can work their way onto the podium. Is pushed here by Trevor Edwards alongside Dylan Williams. You're looking right now at Justin Crow. He's got himself a half-second gap to the 67 of Colin Allman, trying to see if he can make his way up the field, but right now, not making any progress on the 67. As behind contact being made between the 99 and the 24. And they're going to push way out to the wall, thankfully staying off of it. Car's still clean. We're green flag racing as we hit 5 laps to go. And now Sean Hayes stuck on the outside. Aaron Johnson on the inside. Trevor Edwards going to see if he can move. But he's got a full second to catch up to the race leader. Justin Crowe still hasn't made any progress. Colin Allman, that car is just on rails here tonight, making it work so beautifully. And we're looking very similar to last week's performance, where it just felt like pure domination from the 67. As you can see, Dylan Williams doing everything he can, trying to see if he can work his way around Trevor Edwards. Maybe a little bit of contact. Edwards sideways down the backstretch. He's on the apron. We are still green flag racing, but more drivers sideways. That is going to be Aaron Johnson, Dylan Williams to bring out that caution. We are going to enter overtime for the first time tonight. But let's go back here. A lot happened there in that sequence of events that brought out our 4th caution of the night. You can see it's a little bit up there. The 32 gets loose on the exit, gets into the 24. Oh my gosh, yeah, a lot going on there. Wreck avoidance, cars getting loose. And we'll go back. Let's go at a wider angle so we can see that at a slower speed here from our blimp. You can see right there is where contact's made between the 24 and the 32. 32 tries to save it, can't get it out. Not sure why. Maybe Sean Hayes thought he was going to come up into the wall, why he came low, but that caused the 24 to break really loose again after it seemed like he had it saved and almost getting clear. Aaron Johnson tried. Nothing he really could do but pin between the wall. So it's an unfortunate situation there for Aaron Johnson, just getting tagged in something that he was hoping was avoidable, but nothing he could do about it. So now that's a real shakeup here. Aaron Johnson, Trevor Edwards, they're in the back of the field as we get ready to go green flag racing. It'll be 2 to go at the line. So it looks like our only 2 competitors at this point that are really viable options unless something big happens. Colin Allman and Sean Hayes, at least when it comes to the dash for cash. But your top 5 now looks a lot different. Colin Allman, Justin Crowe, Sean Hayes with a little bit beat up car there on the front. And Josh Parrish and Cade Green. Are ready to go green flag racing this next time by. Again, the rules for overtime. We're going to go green, white, checkered. If a caution comes out before the white flag, we'll stack it up and try it again. We have 3 attempts to go green, white, checkered, and finish under green flag conditions. However, if we get a caution before the white, we try it again. If we take the white flag, the race is official, and it's a race to the line at that point. We will see what's going to happen. Can we get a green flag finish? Colin Allman has had really good jumps every single start. Can Justin Crowe time it perfectly, be able to push with him? Buckle up, here we go. Green, white, checkered, number 1. Overtime 1. Pace truck's getting ready to come off. Field in the hands of Colin Allman. And he's going to take off pretty quickly like he has all race long. Justin Crowe, almost seems like he was not ready for that way off pace. Sean Hayes going to be alongside. He's going to have Cade Green behind. So right now the dash for cash driver side by side, or sorry, 1, 2. Cade Green a little loose on the exit. Colin Allman pulling away. A big block there from the 99. Trying to keep Justin Crowe behind. They are almost 3 wide going into turn 3. That is going to be Cade Green sideways. He's going to make contact with Dylan Williams into the outside wall. We stay green, though. Nobody out of the race there. White flag. We are going to be official here with this race. Kind of crazy to see all the wrecking managing to keep it green flag, though. Side by side, it's going to be Hayes and Crowe. They're banging down the backstretch. Some big blocks there come out from the 99 the lap before. Can Crow hold that bottom side by side? They're beating and banging for second place. It's going to be Colin Allman taking the race win. And they're taking each other out as they come across the line. That is going to be Spencer Dickinson up to third place. Josh Parrish in second. What a finish as they came across the line. I want to see that one more time. Let's go to the blimp and watch that from a wide angle. But watching this again, I mean, that really was like, think back to Darlington with Ricky Craven, that side by side, they're banging across the line. Right here, this is where it got interesting. Josh Parrish barely avoids the carnage, and then Spencer Dickinson doing everything he can to get the car there. Nothing he can do, but he manages to slide. Look how close that was, sliding across the line just moments before. Let's go back here. I want to see if we can catch like that. Oh, that's not what I want there. See if we can get like that super slow. Yeah, it didn't give us the... I want to go slower. Let me go slower, please. Yeah, you can see just... I don't know how it registered Dickinson before, but congratulations, Colin Allman, on his race win. That is his third now of the season. Back-to-back race wins. Taking a look at the official results here for tonight. Colin Allman race winner. Josh Parrish second place. Spencer Dickinson in third. Justin Crowe fourth. Sean Hayes rounds out the top five. Aaron Johnson and Trevor Edwards sixth and seventh respectively. Cade Green in eighth. Dylan Williams ninth. And then Tyler Hilton rounds out the top 10. Leon Kennison, Braxton Deweese, and Jake Grout all DNFs here tonight. So let's get in our top three drivers. Get a chance to talk to them here about how tonight's race went. We'll go ahead and pull in our third place finisher here tonight. I believe we have Spencer Dickinson here in the booth. Give me one moment here. Let me make sure we've got him. Spencer, do you have a copy?
Yeah.
Sweet. So Spencer Dickinson, that was quite the finish there. Not the best race you've had. You've had some really strong races. Tonight just didn't seem like the car was there with you, but you managed to pull together a third place finish. Coming across the line, what was going through your head seeing those two cars wrecking in front of you?
So I saw Crow come up the racetrack, and so I was afraid. I didn't think I was going to get him, so I decided to go to like the lowest way possible. Then the lowest way possible was hitting him. So I somehow hit him into the across the line first, and I somehow scored me in first or third. I mean.
Yeah, I still don't understand how I went back and looked at it a couple times. You guys are pretty darn close to how you came across the line. Maybe it was where it scores the car, but I mean, congratulations on a third place finish. Next week, a much different racetrack. We go to what I probably deem one of the more challenging tracks, just the way it's set up, a flat track at Langley. What can we expect from Langley for you?
Honestly, we'll find out when we get there. Really, I've never been really good at Langley. I don't like the track, but I like at the same time as a love-hate relationship. So, I mean, it could be a good night, it could be a terrible night. I just have to wait and see.
All right, well, before we have you head on out and celebrate your third place finish, anybody you would like to thank? Anything else you would like to say?
The boys at the shop, EPI, and yeah.
All right, congratulations again, Spencer Dickinson, on your third place finish. So, a big finish there, considering everything that happened right there in front of you at the end of the race.
Thank you.
All right, so now we're going to bring in Josh Parrish, driver of the 55 machine. He finished in second place. And Josh, it was not the best of races there for you. We were having some trouble there for grip throughout the long runs, but you were able to pull it together on the restart. And with a little bit of luck there, with cars wrecking on the front stretch, you managed to get yourself into second place.
Yeah, for sure. Luck played a big part in that one. Setup was super free for me. I kept burning out the right rear and lost it there early in the race, bring out a caution, and after that just tried to hang on to the end.
Yeah, definitely a difficult track with how the car is set up. I mean, for the most part, it ran all on throttle, but next week we see a much different track going back to our typical short track races with Langley, and we were just talking to Spencer about a Langley short, flat track. You don't really get a lot of on throttle time. What can we expect from you at a track like that?
That's one of my better tracks on the sim, I feel like. Glad we're going back to an actual short track and not super speedway racing. Have a feeling the racing will be a lot better. We got some rocket ship setups there with EPI, so looking forward to going to Langley.
We look forward to see you there next week, and hopefully can see you back here in the booth. But before we have you head on out and celebrate your second place finish here for tonight, anybody you would like to thank? Anything else you would like to say?
Oh yeah, got to thank the guys over at Elite Performance Industries for the help with the setups all year, both in this and the SARA League. Shout out to the boys at the Shed, also Privateer Race Products.
All right, thank you very much, Josh, for joining me up here in the booth. Congratulations again on your second place finish. Now we're going to bring in the driver of the 67, his back-to-back wins here tonight, getting the Dash for Cash, finding himself $100 richer. We've got Colin Ullman, and Colin, congratulations on tonight's win. That car was just on rails all night long.
Yeah, I can't take credit for this setup, man. Huge shout out to Ryan Kuhn, RKM Setup Shop. Them guys, Ryan hooked me up with a really fast setup. And we made the right adjustments on pit stops. We actually had to play some pit strategy and make some adjustments today, which made the race a little bit more exciting. But yeah, man, like I said, shout out to Ryan. This thing was on rails.
Yeah, I mean, you were pulling away there for a while. 1 point had a 2-second gap. It's absolutely insane what you were able to do, and it was very reminiscent to last week's race where you found yourself pulling away a good distance. So it just seems like recently when you've been on track, this car, the 67, has some monster speed.
Yeah, last week was a really good race as well. It was a little bit more of my style setup, but this week was, like I said, it's all to Ryan. All I had to do was hold the wheel and hold it wide open. So huge thanks to them, and huge thanks to sponsors for AMA putting up the Dash for Cash, and huge thanks to Tyler for putting on this series, man. It was a little bit different tonight, but hopefully most people had a good time and get ready for next week.
Yeah, we still had some great racing given the small field, but looking forward here now, back-to-back races that you've won. It's your third race you've won of the season. Do we see the 67 in victory lane more throughout the season?
I hope so. I enjoy coming on here, man. I don't. This is the one time a week I get to race because I'm too focused on the real life cars. So to get on here and race with these guys is a lot of fun, and I really enjoy being on the game and having a good time with everybody.
All right, well, it's been a blast having you here. We love watching you on track, and so congratulations on your third win here of the season, back-to-back wins at this time at Rockingham, and you found yourself $100 richer. So congratulations on that, Colin.
Thanks, Jared. I appreciate it.
That was Colin Ullman, driver of the 67, your race winner here for tonight for the Dash for Cash. And with all that being said, we want to take a moment to thank you all for joining us again here at No Name Gaming and Racing Lights Productions for the American Motorsports Association Gold Line Guardians 100. Congratulations to Colin Ullman for taking the win tonight and finding himself $100 richer. Join us next week as we head back to short track racing for Langley for what might be one of the more difficult races with such a flat racing surface. We hope you all enjoyed the broadcast tonight. I want to thank the AMA for allowing us to bring this race to all of you. Be sure to check out Racing Lights Productions on Twitter with @RacingLightsPro, as well as on Facebook and Instagram. You can also head over to the YouTube channel to check out any previous broadcasts you may have missed. I am Alex Lights saying good night to you from the virtual Rockingham Speedway. Thanks again for tuning in.